Hey, welcome everybody to Sketch Up on this beautiful Thursday summer evening. Tonight we have Vaughn Coleman, who's returning to talk about Phenomenova, his super team series. And I got to say, he's doing a phenomenal job on that. We're going to be taking a really, really good look at that. And we also have Chris Giarusso, his first time appearance on here. I did an amazing 15 connective covers for Marvel. We're going to take a look at that too. And we also have returning guest Les Garner. He's here, and we'll see what's going on with him. We want to congratulate him that he did get something going, and we'll get into that as well. But all that tonight. We'll be right back after this. Hey, everybody. Thanks again for joining us. If you haven't yet, hit that follow button. Make sure you get caught up with everything that's going on the EXP. We've got a lot of things that are coming in this later fourth quarter of the year that you're not going to want to miss. All right. And if you're going to be at any of the shows later on this year, watch out for the SketchUp panel that goes live, an extension of this show, and you'll be able to get some free artwork there as well. Want to say hello to K-pop junkie out there. We see you, Stevie B. Thanks again for joining us. You guys are incredible supporters of our show. All right, so tonight we have Vaughn Coleman, we have Chris Giarusso, and Les Garner. So let's take a little look at what these guys are putting up on the board and see where we're going with that. Les, what are you working on today?
Right now I'm doing the inks on a piece that I sketched out earlier today of Eva from my book Brides. Yeah, and did that specifically for this show tonight. So just going to be on here hanging out, slinging ink while we're doing what we do.
All right, and starting on that is $100, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And then it'll get way prettier real soon.
All right. And Chris, what have you got?
I'm gonna do like a mini Marvel's Spider-Verse Spider Friends piece.
Okay. And starting on that is 100 as well.
Yep.
Okay. And we'll be talking to those two guys very shortly, but let's not forget Maud here. Maud, what are you working on?
I think I'm going to work on Supergirl.
Okay.
My first Supergirl. Probably.
Only your first.
I never drew Supergirl, I think.
All right. Yes, you have.
I did?
And I have the pictures to prove it.
Okay.
So, but you haven't really done like a Supergirl that really stands out. So, the one that you're working on today looks actually pretty good.
How do you know it's blank?
I see all the various references you have on your screen there.
Are you psychic?
I don't know how you're going to put it all together, but we'll see. But the reference material looks good.
Okay.
So that's starting out at 150 on a 9x12.
Oh, it's 8 by 8.5. 8.5 and 11 is the thing.
All right. So if you guys want to start the bidding early, there you go. Go ahead and put that into the comments. We'll call that out as we see it. All right, and now we have Mr. Vaughn Coleman.
How's it going?
Running his third campaign on his series Phenomenova, and that Kickstarter looks off to a really good start. You still have like 10 days left. But let's take a step back and figure out a few things here. How did you get honored to edit Chuck Dixon's story, Hunter Ninja Bear? I mean, first of all, Dixon is not, if you don't know who that is, he's one of the better writers out there in the industry. So
Not only that, I'm pretty
keep that
sure
in mind.
he has the record for most comics written. I think there's like an actual record that he holds. But it was crazy. So I started in film, and I wish I could draw, by the way. I'm having envy right now. I do have some original art on my campaign. That's my compensation. I was doing my own form. I was writing today, bouncing between a few different projects. So sorry, ADHD. But that's the sad part, is you guys get to show off your work. I get to just tell you, and you have to just kind of believe me. But anyway, Hunter Ninja Bear. So I'm in college. I'm studying film, and I'm kind of deciding I want to do comics. And I'm falling more and more in love with the medium, and seeing there's an indie scene, and saying, oh, I could own my own stuff. That's good. And I remember kind of talking to my friend about it, who was also a filmmaker. We had met at the USC Summer Filmmaking School, and he goes, my dad's starting a comic book company. I'm like, is there any way you could get me involved? He's like, pass my name along, dude. See what you could do. And some time passes, and I get messages like, oh, yeah, my dad wants to talk to you. I'm on the phone with his dad, and he goes, yeah, I'll have you working on some stuff. I respect you as a filmmaker, whatever. And I go, yeah. And I'm on the phone, and I just mentioned offhand, I'm like, a lot of people are going indie now. Like Chuck Dixon, for example, one of my favorite writers, he's going indie. He goes, oh, yeah, you're going to be working on Chuck's book. Like, of all the writers, I was like, what?
That's some serious luck, dude.
It was literally like hundreds of writers. And I was like, yeah, I just mentioned him. And he's like, yeah, you're going on his. And I didn't even know what like the editor job pertained. But so I just know, oh, give me feedback. And then I'm giving feedback, and I see my name as editor. I'm like, or assistant editor, I think, initially. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, all right, I have a job title. That's awesome. Because I was like, I'm just giving feedback. And so I read a lot of the issues were, some of them were fully colored. Some of them were inked. And then it was like the last one was scripted. And I remember that was me kind of learning about it. And kind of learned like in reverse, and it was interesting. Right. And my first actual comic script I read was most of it had been drawn, and the last chapter, Hunter Ninja Bear, I got to read in script form, and that was really cool because I was like, oh, it was like peeking behind the curtain, going, that's how it works. And I remember taking that because I had that saved, and I'd kind of had these ideas. Like I have the idea that is Phenomenova now for years. And I'd written some scripts for like an animated series. And I was like, okay, let me try translating it. And it immediately became apparent that you have to make fundamental changes when you switch between mediums, because that's just the nature of things. Right. And it made my love for both mediums, grow more. I've still never directly met Chuck. I didn't, during the whole Hunter Ninja Bear thing, I would give it to my boss, the notes, and then he would give them to Chuck. And I guess Chuck liked my notes, which is great. And I'd love to talk to him more. I should really interview him at some point, but I mean, Chuck is great. But yeah, I mean, starting my career off there, it was great. And of course I'm like, now, like I've worked with this guy. Now it's easy. I could throw that around. And it was great, man. It was a really good experience. And when that book came out, it was really cool, and people liked it. And it was great.
Nice.
Right, because he has that book on the VENOMcomic.com website, so you can still get that there if anybody's interested. But it is a group that has some pretty good, well-known names on there. Aside from Chuck Dixon, you got Mel Ruby, Ivan Nunez, Bart Sears, Scott McDaniel, and that's just to name a few. Now, from what I understand, you actually got your first story published with Phil. Mm-hmm. You won a writing contest? Is that
there was a writing contest for the Tragedy trade paperback? That should be on my shelf. It is. Okay. It's in my shelf downstairs, but it's not. So, but yeah, the Tragedy trade paperback I had. There was like a 10-page short story, and again, it was something I'd written as a screenplay in college that I always was like, oh, it could work as a comic too. And the opening scene was a self-contained action sequence. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, I can make this 10 pages. And then I just took it and I just kind of paneled it out. And I adapted it accordingly. Boom, there it is.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Right now, it's kind of people sometimes ask, why is it kind of like an odd number, 7 pages?
7 pages?
Yeah, you said 7 pages, right?
No. Land of Lawless was 10 pages.
Oh, 10 pages. Okay, never mind. You're right. Now, and that has nothing to do with your current series, Phenomenova, right?
Pardon?
That's a totally separate series from Phenomenova.
Yeah,
right?
no connection. I'd love to continue that story, but I have the habit of starting 5 different projects, so we'll see. But Phenomenova is its own. It's entirely separate from that.
Okay, now in your Kickstarter, you say in an age of deconstruction and cynicism, Phenomenova is an optimistic reconstruction and reconstitution of the superhero genre with a new flavor. What exactly do you mean by that?
I mean, it's a very common sentiment you hear people say, and it's one I strongly agree with. I just think so much of entertainment for years was so cynical and so. I just feel like I read classic superhero stories and I read today, and I just think there's a massive disconnect. I mean, just do it like some of those popular shows. There's like The Boys, the Snyder stuff where you had Batman killing. You had the current X-Men Hickman run where the X-Men effectively were a cult that were like basically aligning with Magneto and Apocalypse. And I was like, this is just not. This is like I felt that it was a betrayal of what the superheroes were meant to be. And I kept going back to the ones that inspired me, like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies and then Claremont's X-Men run. Okay. And I kind of really wanted to dive in on what I love most about superheroes. It's like my ultimate love letter. And I remember even when my editor first read it, he goes, this felt like visiting an old friend. And that's really what I wanted it to be, is I wanted it to be unapologetically superheroes. Like there's some people that are like say there's such thing as superhero fatigue, and maybe to some people, but like to those of us that are diehard fans, I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I think it's just people kind of I think have forgotten the nature of it.
Well, yeah, there's this thing about like how superheroes got their powers. When you look at it like Spider-Man getting bit by a radioactive spider, come on, how realistic is that? Compared to like those superheroes that are introduced today, they're trying to keep it like within the logical, physical frame of what we know of the world today. Compared to then, it was like so out there, open-minded. Anything could happen that could create like a superhero. So when I'm reading yours. Kickstarter, and you talk about your character that with the electricity powers and lightning speed and all that, and how he got that power. Why don't you tell us in your words and how that character Miles Hensky becomes a superhero?
Yeah, so I came up with that when I was in 2nd grade. It was cool. It was just I was like, well, how does he get his powers? And I was like, well, he'll have lightning powers and super speed. And I'm like, oh, well, he gets struck by lightning while holding a mysterious crystal. Like I just said crystal because like that could be it was like that. It was because the radiation plus spider equals, I was like, this plus this equals this, of course. And it just was cool. And I never was like, I always stuck with that because I was like, that's cool. It was cool in every version. That's probably one of the most consistent things about the character, even more so than the character's name. Was that he gets struck by lightning while holding a crystal. Its lightning powers get super speed. I don't know. There was something iconic feeling about it, I think. And something original about it. Okay.
So your team that you had now with Phenomenova that you've put together, and I remember you telling us about your series, and there was very little that you wanted to let us in on, because you're still like building your characters, building your story. You just want to get it too far ahead. And so now you've got your team together on this issue. You're showcasing everybody. So this is like the big moment here. But how is this team? You kind of explained it a little bit, but so how is this team different from what we see in comic book superheroes?
Well, so one of the things that's different about Phenomenova as a team is They are kind of a mixed match, but they are. So Phenomenova is set in a world 20 years after World War III. And in this world, there was a team called the Crusader Corps that fought during the war. And now Phenomenova, 20 years later, they are being trained by one of the veteran superheroes who fought during World War III. And what makes them interesting is they're kind of like, we're set in this new area that was destroyed during the war and rebuilt. And Phenomenova, basically, we're meeting the team one by one, but they're kind of just getting it together. You know, they're young, but we're realizing, okay, you know, young people have to step up in this world, that it's not all sunshine and rainbows. But Phenomenova is a team that's still kind of finding its identity in some ways, and they're still learning, as, you know, adolescents do. But they have an important role to save. You know, they have a whole area, and they have, like, the mission that they're dealing with in issue 3 is almost like a changing point where they're like, okay, we really need to step up our game. We're not just the apprentices. Now we are full-fledged superheroes. So they are both apprentices and also full-fledged superheroes. You know, they're not just trainees. And I think... so
it's kind of like the AAA stepping up into the majors now.
Yeah, or as major as they're as they can be. You know, they're not... they're hoping to one day be like, there's people that will be deployed on greater threats, but they are dealing with pretty big stuff right now, and they need to be ready for kind of everything. And what I want the series to kind of evolve, and the characters to evolve with it and go crazier, you know, as we go. That these are characters like Galvanite. His costume kind of is evolving with him. Like issue 2 right now, in 3 he has his training uniform. But I want the characters to kind of grow, and eventually they're going to become those like the Crusader Corps in some ways. They want to be. They're kind of, the way I describe it is that superheroes, I always think, are supposed to be aspirational and idealistic, and I think we've spent a lot of the last couple decades. People have been kind of like dragging those ideals through the mud to try and make it grittier. And I think Phenomenova is trying to show that ideal is something you want to strive for. Even if you never hit it, that's fine. To the point where the number one hero that's most remembered after World War III is literally an angelic knight in shining armor. Like, I could not, because I was going to have a Superman knockoff, and I'm like, I've seen a million. I'm like, let's make it as clear as possible. This is what we're up against, right? And so what I wanted to do was Phenomenova, they're going to keep trying to hit that ideal, even if they sometimes feel the world is stacked. And that's what I wanted to do.
Okay. So who is the main person on the team?
Well, the team.
Go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. I just want to make sure, because if you finish,
because that way, like, to become the leader, is that going to be? You know, I mean, who? So who? Well, how many superheroes do you have on this team?
So currently, Galvanite is not yet a member of the team as of issue 3. He is the new guy. He hasn't even met the team yet, aside from one member of it. Not consciously. They did meet him frozen in a block of ice, but he doesn't remember that because they had to rescue him, which you'll see in issue 3. But so the team consists of Force, Vivacity, Thermo, and Estrella. So Estrella we met in issue 2. But the leader of the team is Force. So Force is the son of a World War III general who, and we'll learn more about him, but he's like 19 years old. He's the most militant, the most serious, and he is the one kind of holding it together. He's kind of like my Cyclops, my Captain America, somewhere in between those. He's the one that really holds the team together. He's the one that is most ready to go pro. Like, he's pro level, but he has these guys that he kind of has to babysit and form into the next generation. So there's a frustration with him that he's like, he wants his team to be at that level, even though they're young, because he's the adult on the team, you know?
Okay. Is he the oldest on the team?
Yes, though Estrella is close in age with him. She was an established hero before she was recruited, but she is also 19, 18, but she's like a little bit behind him. But Force is the oldest.
Okay, and who's the third character is?
Vivacity. So she is the second longest member of the team, at least that we see. There are former members that will deal with down the line.
Okay.
But Vivacity, she is 16 years old. She's the redhead girl. She's got energy powers mixed with she can like absorb solar energy and convert it into energy blasts, and which like can cause force energy, but she can also use laser eyes and she can fly. Vivacity is she's like kind of in some ways the heart of the team. She's very fun, but she's got a heart of gold. And she likes to embrace the fun parts of being a superhero, the flashy parts, but she can be a bit impulsive. So she's trying to find that balance, and Force and her kind of both bring things like she brings the fun component to being a superhero, the empathetic part. Force is very much military. And so in a way, they kind of are both needed on the team. But of course, Force is the one who ultimately makes all the calls, and she falls in line because she knows he's the best.
And she's 16. I remember, like, for me, when I started working at a regular job, I was like 14, and I had to get they called it a child's work permit.
Damn.
And your parents have to like sign for that, so that way saying that it's okay for you to work, right? So how is it that she's able to be on this team? What was there some kind of thing that was going on that tried to stop her, or just made it hard for her to be at time, or was it easily gotten into there?
Well, one of the good things about writing this, right, is that we live in a world where teenage superheroes are generally accepted as a concept. They have been, for longer than any of us have been alive. But to me, it was one of my justification is in this world. Look at it, right? We have superpowers, and I guess it kind of started with World War III. There were teenage heroes in World War III. Let's think about things. I'm going to use an extreme example, but say you had a 15-year-old Superman and World War III is going. Now, how many lives could he potentially save? Are we really going to go, yeah, but he's 15? No, you want to save all those lives. You might have to make an exception and that's kind of the justification for Phenomenova as a team. They can do things that other people can't, and that justifies them rushing into action because they provide an essential service. They are needed. And even though there are people like we'll see a lot of the villains use tech, right? Like supervillains are kind of catching up. Superhumans are still very much a commodity that is needed. Also, when you have superpowers like that, often having a normal life isn't necessarily the thing. Now, the thing with Vivacity as a character, I'm glad you're asking, because if you look at one of my covers, it was done by an artist named Adriana Brown, who co-created the character. She was initially going to be my artist. And we want to do a Phenomenova Origins book with her. In fact, I got to get on that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's something I definitely want to do. So,
right, so what's happening? You said that Galvanite is not part of the team yet. So what is the main crux of the story for this third issue?
So in issue 3, so the first 2 issues we follow Galvanite in his first issue, he tried to stop a heist at a nuclear reactor. That failed miserably, and he begins his training with issue 2. But we're kind of in issue 2, he meets this character named Estrella, who is one of the teams. She's deaf and blind, but she can absorb information through psychometry and therefore can absorb things around her. She is also a detective in addition to being a member of Phenomenova. So in this issue, she's going back to the reactor, to the crime scene, and is taking Galvanite's memories, taking the memories from her experience at the reactor as part of the team, and absorbing memories in the environment. And she's trying to put together what happened so now we can go and stop these guys in the future. So this is how we're finally through reliving these memories, meeting the team for the first time and seeing them in the action. It's how we're figuring out, why did the villains break into the reactor? How did they break in? What were they trying to steal? What went down? What happened after Miles blacked out in issue 1? We didn't see that. What were the ramifications of Miles' actions that people were alluded to, that people got hurt? How did that come about? And so basically what we're doing is we're doing it through the perspective of an investigation. So it's kind of like a flashback / mystery, but also it is an action superhero story. They are rushing into a nuclear reactor to try and stop a heist.
Mm-hmm. So is Galvanite going to join the team in this issue, or?
Not in this issue, no. Galvanite is kind of taking a back seat. He's going to be in it a little bit, but he's kind of taking a back seat.
Okay.
He hasn't met the team yet. Issue 4 is when they're going to meet the team, and I'm actually probably going to do some revisions on that tomorrow.
All right. It's tough enough as a new writer when you're trying to write a story when you've got like one main character and you want to build the character development in that. But here you're taking on 4. Have you found a way to balance that, or?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It took me. I've been writing this for a while, and I kept rewriting this over and over and over again. I knew I had to prove it with the first 2 issues, and this one I really kept refining and refining and refining. And here's the thing: we're not going to sit and spend as much. Like issue 4, we're going to get to spend more quality time with them. For the characters, because this one we're rushing into the action, but it was a matter of characterizing the characters. Like the characters have to get them A to B, and once I've known these characters for years, and so created them a long time ago, and so I know these characters like the back of my hand. So writing them and having them interchange, I'm like, this is what this person would say, this is what this person would do, and it made the writing so much easier. And I have an editor that would bounce it off. Hey, here's how this. So I try and give every character a consistent voice as much as possible. But ultimately, we do have like main characters in this issue. And we're going to get to flesh out some of the others.
Because that becomes tough to do. You don't want to create a character and you're just not using them. And then people look at it and go, oh, what's this dude doing in here anyway? Why'd you even bring him into this? There's no purpose to him, and then it just kind of kills it with these people, especially today with how picky people are and quick to critique a story. All right, so you've been on quite of a journey here, because when you did your first Kickstarter, Phenomena #1, Lightning Strikes. Okay, you had a goal of 500, and you ended up with 1735 from 43 backers, and that's actually pretty good for a first Kickstarter, because a lot of people we hear and see that they don't even get funded. Okay, your goal was low, right? So it was easily met, and you accomplished it. Now, when you did your second one, you set your goal to 1,000, and you came up with about close to 2,400 with 107 backers. Again, your numbers, nothing to brag about, but when you compare that to your first one, that's pretty good.
Double.
Your numbers pretty much doubled. You tripled it. You pretty much like doubled it, more than doubled it in all those categories. Now, when you take a look at this third one, you still got like 10 days left. Okay, but you set your goal to 8,000, way above your second one, right? And you're at 9,300 now, and you've got 236 backers. More than your backers have more than doubled, and the rest of your numbers are just clobbering the numbers you did before. What's the difference?
Well, for starters, Kickstarter was not my first platform when I did the other 2. That was a big difference. Is I had other platforms that I was on, and so it was kind of spread like that. So like I first launched on Fund My Comic, they take a lower percentage. I was friends with the owner. It made sense. But this time I was like, I really want to expand, and Kickstarter has this great algorithm, and the strong launch is emphasized. And I said, let me make the switch to make Kickstarter my launch platform. Doesn't mean I'm not going to touch Fund My Comic. I will, but I was like, let's put all my efforts into this one first this time, and see what I can do. And so that's what I did. And then it was in the algorithm, and more people started seeing it. And also keep people, know Kickstarter more than the others. So it's easier to convince people to back that than the others. So that made a huge difference. The fact that I launched there instead of the others. Because if you look at my Fund My Comic campaigns, I did very well on those 2, in the first 2. So on this, I'm okay. I was hoping, but I'm still hoping to hit 10K. So in terms of Kickstarters, I absolutely did better than the other 2. But Yeah, this one I using it as my first choice was definitely a good call with this.
Were you when you set those numbers? Were you confident? Were you scared that it might not hit, or
No,
so
no.
you're pretty confident?
I was seeing how quickly we can get it. It took longer than I was hoping, but I was not scared that I could hit 8K. No. Because I've done it on other platforms. I've never made less than 8K on a campaign. Well, if we're talking on a single campaign, I made less than 8K on most. But if we're talking like Phenomenal of issue 2 across Indiegogo from my comic and Kickstarter made like 9K, and issue 1 made like 17K. So I knew I could get it. And I also, that was another thing too, is I was like, let's be real about how much I really want to make with 3, because I didn't make as much as I wanted on 2. So that meant I couldn't get as much of the book done as I wanted for 3 prior. So I was like, let's be real. I put enough so I can work through the campaign, and then afterwards I can keep working through. So my artist has been getting paid this whole time. I just got a few pages in today. So yeah, I'm on page, I think 23 pages into the book.
All right, so Unknown 869 is asking, are these just the first 3 issues of a new series, or is it a total of 3 books?
Just the first 3 issues of a new series. But these kind of do, even though my first overall arc is 8 issues, it's kind of like the reactor arc. The first arc is here. You know, you get the whole mystery of the reactor. There we go. 3 issues.
Yeah. And more to follow. Let's take a quick look at what these guys have on their artboard so far.
Gorgeous.
All right, Mug is working on what is it again? A Samurai Supergirl.
Actually, you know what?
Oh no, she changed it
I
up.
got this idea. So check this out. It's Samurai Supergirl, but I'm kind of bored by it. So now I'm going to do this mashup. You can't really see it, right? But do you know the anime Rurouni Kenshin?
No.
Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so she's gonna be Kenshin with a scar, and she's going to be holding the Batosai from Sanosuke, the guy with the strong guy, and she's gonna hold also Kenshin's sword. So it's like a Rurouni Kenshin mashup Samurai Supergirl.
So if you guys don't know, Kenshin has a reverse blades curved sword, right? So the back of the blade is what's sharp, and the outer part is what's dull, right? Which is laughable in most scenarios. Okay, unless you understand the style of the Batosai.
Batosai is from Sanosuke, the guy with the monstrous sword. It's not even a sword. It's like basically a huge ass piece of metal that he just swings around.
Right, which is the common name that they use for a big fat broadsword like what he's using there. Okay. Anyway, so that if you're looking to bid on that, that is starting at 150 on about a 9x12. And then let's take a look at Chris, who's working on. Well, we got Les there, so let's look at Les, who's inking Eva, and that is looking for a bit of 100 on that. Okay, tell us a little bit about Eva, Les.
Well, Eva is the main character from my book Brides. She is a character who is I'm very much into the classic literature, and so I wanted to do something really kind of funny, not funny, but something different with the Bride of Frankenstein. And so Eva in this world gets it in her head that as she learns about some of the issues that arise being the kind of thing she is, like a Frankenstein monster, right? Is the flesh they're made out of still rotting? Are they going to have to replace body parts? Yes.
Yeah.
And so like she has some obvious problems and learns of vampires and decides that sounds like the thing that could fix all her problems. And so she strikes out to hunt down vampires, specifically to hunt down Dracula and try to convince him to make her a vampire. And in the course of that, instead of getting him, she gets his brides.
Oh.
So, it's a Bride of Frankenstein with the brides of Dracula. And without giving away too much of the story, by the time it is all said and done, she finds out that, sometimes you want a thing and you think this is going to be the greatest thing ever. It's going to fix my problems. And this is the silver bullet. And then you get it and you're like, crap.
No.
This is just terrible. And so she ends up, well, actually the PDF is out now in the hands of the Kickstarter folks, so I can talk about it more. Like, she ends up becoming literally the planet's apex predator. And where it's headed for issue number 2 is dark, real dark. It's pretty messed up. I just finished a 6-page short story of Eva for an anthology from the publisher who's picked brides up now, and they have a book called Gasp, and I just finished this 6-page kind of introductory story where Dracula is watching Eva from a distance. So this 6 pages is narrated by Dracula while Eva is going absolutely berserk. And it was so much fun because I really wanted to get a chance to cut loose with her and show just in some ways, like I dig hearing somebody talk about the hopeful aspirational superheroes, because that ain't what I do. Like,
it's fine if you don't. Like, I don't think people have to.
Oh no! Like, and it's great because like you were citing like some of my absolute foundational stuff, like Chris Claremont. And
I just finished his run recently.
Oh man! See, I was collecting those as I grew up, and Chris Claremont X-Men was absolutely foundational. And I'm one of those guys, one of those old farts who comes from the era of Chris Claremont, and I was there when the Dark Knight Returns happened, and I mean, pretty much my generation, my era is the ones who kind of took it all dark.
Well, I don't think Dark Knight Returns was like, I mean, there are things about it. Well, here's the thing: it was an Elseworld story, which is fine. I think the problem is when they make that all continuity. And even then, and I'll say it, like, because this is a point of contention, people act like Batman kills in The Dark Knight Returns, and he doesn't.
What's funny is he thought he did. In The Dark Knight Returns, Batman thinks that he killed the Joker.
He stops himself short.
Well, like, there's this whole thing there. He's got this. So the Joker is the one who ends up finishing it and killing himself. And Batman kind of knows it, but he also feels responsible for it. And it's like, it's like, should I have taken him that far? Should I, it's like, there's some moral wrestling with it. That's really kind of fun that I always liked. But, I'm heavily influenced by like, the Watchmen and, a lot of Frank Miller, like Frank Miller's 300, I loved.
Yeah, I'm in the same. I'm like you, Les. That's the era I grew up in. I collected all those X-Men from the beginning. But you're right, because that's the time then we saw Wolverine came out, and he was such a badass kind of like character.
Love Wolverine.
Then we had Punisher. Okay, man, how bad
Punisher. Punisher is one of my dream characters to work on.
Oh, I love Punisher.
Those two characters, they ruled the 80s. Okay.
Yes.
Those two were the top two selling characters and books. Right. That's why Marvel put them in so many appearances.
Oh yeah.
Throughout the Marvel universe. You put Wolverine here, put put Punisher here. Let's pick up the sales over here. You know, let's do this. Let's do War Journal and have Wolverine in there too. You know, all that was happening.
Something funny about me talking about the aspirational stuff, like as dark as most of the stuff I create for myself is, and the dark as a lot of stuff that I love is, my number one character from old school comics who I would like, it would just be the tippity top of my career. I would love to write Captain America.
Oh, that'd be great.
Because on the, like, the thing that I would love to do with Cap, I would make his villains, they'd be bad. They'd be wildly dark. He would have, like, I think one of the problems with the older aspirational type heroes is that in back when I was a kid, they were making comics for kids, and so they didn't want the villains to be that bad, or they would pull away. And I'm like, no, dog. Red Skull should be worse than Hitler. Red Skull should be absolutely terrible. Should be terrifying. And it's like when you have a really nasty villain, that's your opportunity for that aspirational hero to step up. And then you know, it's like, it's the old thing. It's like, how do you know the light without the dark? And the darker that dark is, the brighter that light is.
Yeah. Same. And I agree with you. There is a lot of characters, villains from the Captain America line that I think, if handled correctly, could still be with us today. Because Red Skull was badass back then.
Oh yeah,
along with Baron Zemo and other guys. Hydra is.
I feel like one of the most criminally misused characters in all of Captain America lore is the Taskmaster.
Yeah.
That character has so much potential to be just such a bastard.
When he there's that cover that they put him on it's in Avengers covers. I forget what it was, but I got a handful of that stashed away because I felt like that character was going to be one of the more badass characters that was going to march into the Marvel universe. It didn't really happen.
Yeah, I didn't even watch that movie, and I just know everyone was like, "Why is Polka Dot Man more beloved right now than Taskmaster?"
Yeah.
I even just seeing the because he has such a cool design, and I looked at the trailer and I was like, and like someone had to tell me that was Taskmaster. That's Taskmaster.
Yeah. That was very disappointing.
Yeah, well, like many of the characters that they've used on screen, they haven't, turned out the way that I would like to see them. And
I don't know what could replace it, but Marvel, while they've had a lot of fun movies, the one movie they had that I truly, truly love was the first Captain America, because they did it right.
Yeah,
they did it right.
That was more true.
There was it wasn't just respect for the character and the character's background. There was actual respect for what the character stands for.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's the thing that I actually loved about Zack Snyder's Superman, was that I think Zack Snyder was trying to do a very dark world that was weighing on Superman, and that he would then emerge from as a beacon, which could have worked. It worked for me. A lot of folks didn't like it.
I liked it when I first saw it, and I have very mixed feelings on it, but I like that idea that you mentioned. I have mixed feelings on it.
I've told this. I actually say this publicly a lot in the offhand chance that I ever get to work for DC and somebody hears about it. I would love to write Superman because I would absolutely do this thing with him where as a public facing figure, he would be hopeful, aspirational. He would be all of that stuff. And then when he goes home, not to his apartment is a mask. When he goes home to the Fortress of Solitude, the man cries his eyes out. And the reason, and it's the whole reason that he had, like, and I would be ripping this off. The Fortress of Solitude, I love the reason given for it in a book by Elliot S. Magan once. That, and this is the thing I would love to put into that character. Superman, deep down in his heart, is the single most depressed character on Earth. Because no matter what he does, no matter who he saves, he always has to choose. Because he can hear all the other people on the planet. He can hear all the other people on the planet who have something he could step in and save them from. So he has to pick one. And whichever one he picks, that means somebody else had to suffer. Lots of somebody's had to suffer. And for a character who is good at heart, that would absolutely destroy him inside. Like it would be a constant inner dialogue about how do I keep my head up with this? Because even somebody with the power of a god isn't. I can't save them all. Like, to me, my Superman, that would be the heart of Superman. I'm like, I love the idea so much. I'm half tempted, and I'm not even big on trying to do superhero books. But like, if I ever do a superhero book, it will be to put that idea in a book.
Yeah, I mean, I would honestly.
It doesn't have to apply to Superman. It could be any character that you want with that kind of power, because that is going to have, and it's a good point to bring up. It's going to have a big impact on that character's psychosis and how they see and treat the rest of the world.
And the irony of it is, I would want to use a villain who is pretty much toe to toe in power, and show that, and that would be the illustration that the reason this stuff hurts him is because he's good. If he weren't good, he wouldn't care. I love that.
Interesting.
That's literally something that has been on my mind since I was probably 10 years old and read this Elliot S. Magan novel. Like that, I'm 51, dude. I have had that idea for 41 years.
Here's the thing, because that one of the because I think it's a brilliant story idea, and I almost wonder if do we want to go there with Superman, because once they go, like, I feel like people might be afraid of that. Regardless, I would read that story, whether it's Superman or Superman Light. I would. That is such a brilliant idea that I'd never thought of, that he has to choose.
That choice. I mean, that's such it. That idea has been with me my whole life, and every time I create a character, if I create a character that is a hero in some way, in the back of their mind, they know they're having to choose. So,
and it's hard. How do you keep that from going bad? You've got these powers, and that's a question that everybody asks is, well, if you have this power, what would you do? Right? You have the choice of doing good. You have the choice of doing bad. What are you going to do with it?
I mean, how in the hell would a character like Superman not end up eventually saying, screw it, I'm taking over and I'm going to make everything right by hook or by crook? Because, I mean, for his own sanity, how could he not? And coming up with how he doesn't do that, how he doesn't go bad, that's the interesting part. What is his North Star for his morality that allows him to still be good and carry that burden? I would love that. That'd be so much fun.
That'd be good.
So
I But in the meantime, I'm doing vampires.
I think, I mean, look, I have other, like, there was a couple months where I stepped away from just writing anything phenomenal related. And I was like, let me do this. I wrote an outline for a Batgirl book that was dark. I wrote a bunch of horror stories. I'm doing a short story collection, like written prose stories. One of them, because I was like, let's do some bleed over. And there was this one character that I've had in my head, one of my earliest. It's weird. It's not because it wasn't called Phenomenova back then, but one of my earliest characters for what is now Phenomenova that just doesn't have a place right now. Because, like, Mel was mentioning, you have to sometimes put ideas because you go, this is too much for one issue. And this guy, he would be an anti-hero character. I don't have time for that for the main narrative now. And I was like, well, what can I do? And I was like, what if I do a horror story from the perspectives of people being into a violent anti-hero? And it's almost like a slasher movie.
Nice.
And so I wrote that, and I'm like, I love it. He's like a mix between like Jason meets the Punisher meets like a couple other characters, Ghost Rider, and I was having fun with that. So, but I write in other genres, but there's something inherent to the superhero genre that I love, and I think that's another thing too. Is people like as long as you experiment with genres, you can do great. And one of the things I like about superheroes is the ability to tap into other genres.
Oh yeah.
They can, like, superhero stories. You could do superhero horror stories, superhero sci-fi stories, superhero adventure stories.
I was about to say, like, in my mind, I almost don't even like using the word superhero for a genre, because to me, any good superhero story is probably a sci-fi story, or it's possibly a horror story,
or an action story,
or like Batman,
coming of age,
a detective story. You know, I mean,
yeah,
Teen Titans coming up. It's wild, you know.
Yeah, Phenomenal Issue 3 has detective elements coming at. Although more coming of age is more so in the first. I mean, they are still coming of age in this one, but we don't have a lot of the dealing with bullies at school or stuff like that we see in issue 1. In this one, because we're kind of dealing with a nuclear reactor threat, but we'll have stuff like that. It is a coming of age book, but it is also superhero story. It is also a mystery or detective story. It's an action story. It's a lot of different things.
That's cool, man. Yeah, one of the big central elements that I can talk about now with Eva in Brides is that there's a what would you call it? The way, like, one of her big drives is that she hates how impulsive she is. And there's a big scene, a big romantic scene in the book with her and a guy on a train. And there's layers to how this plays out. Like, she has a moment of post-traumatic stress from a memory and ends up killing this guy. And then feels terrible because she did it. And she, like, there is layers of, like, survivor guilt. I love this character. Like, honestly, when the idea first hit me, I was like, oh, it'll be fun. I'll do some sexy vampire chicks and that'll be a thing. But then I sat down and started writing it, and I was like, once I started writing it, Eva spoke to me. And I was like, she has something to say. And I can't just wrap it up in a fun cheesecake book.
Dude, that happened to me with my Bad Girl book, because I'm like, you know what? No. Or even my first book, Land of the Lawless, right? It was a 10-page short story. I was like, I want to do a Western with a hot chick or whatever. And then seconds in, I'm like, this is going to be so boring. If I'm like, she shoots guys, she has big boobs. I'm like, that's boring. As a writer, that is so boring. As an artist, I'm sure that's fun forever. Maybe not forever, but it's more fun. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm like, let's put that same amount of energy into that. With my Bad Girl book, I'm like, and I came up with an idea that I think is like gold for my Bad Girl book. That character is also appearing in my short story collection. I'm like, I can't afford to do the comic. Let's do a short story with that character. So, but Yeah, man. I mean, that like I totally get what you're saying because that's what I was thinking. I want to talk about it, but I can't. But like
my first creator-owned book that I put out a few
with
years.
stuff to say is something I want to do.
My first creator-owned book was a book called Apocalypse Girl, and you know, and I knew going in that I had kind of a cheesecake sounding title to it, and that's another one. When I first started creating it, it was like, oh, you know, she's gonna have chainsaw and these cut off shorts. It's gonna be this hot little chick who's just, you know, beating stuff down in a post-apocalyptic world. Kind of Ash meets, you know, Ash versus Evil Dead kind of meets Resident Evil or something. And then I started writing it. And like initially she didn't even have a name. I was just I never wanted to have her name even in the book. But then I started writing it and I was like, well, I need a catalyst for the action for this thing. And her father dies, but he's not her father. He's her adoptive father. And Papa dying. And as soon as I did the page, I drew this page. And when I drew it, I looked down at this panel that was a close-up of her eye, just half her face reacting to finding his body. And that panel still chills me to this day that I drew it. Because when I drew that and I drew him dead and her finding him, kind of personal bit, I lost my own father when I was 17. And when I drew that panel and I sat back and looked at it, I cried. Because that face in that panel was how I felt when my father died. And all of a sudden, Apocalypse Girl was not cheesecake. It was heavy because from there forward, I knew exactly the story. And I knew that whole thing, she was going to have a running narration in her head of Papa telling her what to do. Like not telling her, like ordering her, but like she would have lessons from him going through her mind. And everything would be balanced against what would Papa say about this. And it just, I honestly, I can't hardly sit down and read that book because it will choke me up every single time.
Interesting. All right, let's jump over to Chris right now. It's been almost an hour and we haven't got to him.
Oh, sorry,
Chris,
man.
How are you doing, buddy? I don't mean to.
You know what? It's great. I'm not that great of a talker anyway, so this is working out pretty good.
Okay. So tell us what you got on the page here so far. And by the way, if you haven't noticed, right, you do have a bid on that for 100 already from Ilya, and we are still waiting to get bids on Mog's work and less. But your piece right now has a current bid. But go ahead and explain to us what you got on the page so far.
Just threw a bunch of the Spider-Verse characters together, all the Spider-Man family characters together. So here I'm working on Miles Morales,
okay.
Spider-Man. We got Spider-Gwen here. We got Venom here. We got classic Peter Parker in the center.
Okay.
This is Scarlet Spider. We got Spider-Woman here.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
This may be Silk, I think.
Okay.
And Spidey 2099 will come out of this figure. And we got a bit of a Spider-Ham in progress right here.
Best character ever in Spider-Man. Spider-Ham rocks.
I remember when he came out, that was pretty funny.
Peter Porker.
So Chris, we only met like not too long ago in Nebraska, and we went out to dinner like a few times, but I didn't get a chance to talk to you. Not like Mog. Can you tell us in the audience, like, how did you get started into the comics?
As a fan or as a pro?
Where did you started out as a fan first? So let's hear that. And then as a pro.
Well, I mean, there's nothing. I guess it's just ordinary childhood. There's comic books around. I started as a fan of the comic strips in the newspaper. I would make sure to read that every day, and then eventually graduated to comic books. So I was really into the humor strips. And when I saw Fred Hembeck in the Marvel Age, I think was the first time I saw Fred Hembeck. I see he was like taking the cool superhero adventure stuff and doing humor comic strips with it, like putting the two things together that I was like super into. And I was like, man, that's what I want to do. I want to be Fred Hembeck. and I kind of did follow in those footsteps.
Are you professionally trained?
No.
You're self-taught.
Yeah, self-taught. I would go through fits of drawing as a kid and then give up and quit and think I never had the talent. So I kind of didn't really start trying to develop it until I was in college, submitting comic strips to the school newspaper because it was like student submission comics page. So seeing what they were publishing gave me the courage and the confidence to be like, I think I can do that. And then while I was in college, I applied for an internship at Marvel Comics, and I got it, and that was what changed everything. I got in the building, I worked there for a summer, and then when I graduated, they offered me a job in the production department.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Nice. And so what was the first thing you did?
Like published or?
Yeah.
Well, actually, as an intern, I got published because I'd bug my editor all day. Kelly Corvasi was the editor of the What If comic.
Yeah.
So I was like a humor strip guy. So I was just like pitching the dumbest What If story ideas until finally he I think was just sick of it. And he's like, you know what? Just do a comic strip, do a 3-panel comic strip of that What If idea. And I'll put it in the letters page.
So, so you're that guy.
Yeah.
Persistence pays.
I don't remember the strips, okay, but I do remember seeing them there because I was picking up that series regularly because they were fun reads. I enjoyed them. It's like precursor to the what else worlds and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are fun to do. So what do you do now then?
Well, the most recent thing I do. Hang on, let me find a book here. Here, Officer Clausen's the most recent project I've done. It's
okay. This is your own.
No, this is for HarperCollins. It's written by. Hang on, let me disengage my phone here. Okay. Yeah, it's written by Brian Smitty Smith, who's one of my studio mates.
Okay.
He had a popular series at HarperCollins called PB&J, and they asked him to pitch other ideas, and he pitched the next thing he had was Officer Clausen, Lobster Cop. Mm-hmm. But he didn't have time to draw 2 books, so I got the job drawing.
Nice.
So it's a lot of
it's full
underwater crime adventure, caper type stuff. This one's a time travel story. That's a lot of fun. But recently, Marvel collected. They recollected some of my mini Marvel stuff. Let's see. No, that's an old one. I don't have the new stuff here.
Wow.
All right, no, here's a new one. Here's Hulk Smash.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you also recently, earlier this year, a 15 connecting cover Marvel.
Yes.
Of the Marvel universe. 15.
Yeah.
Damn, that is incredible. Is that it?
This is a set of them.
Man, I don't know if there's anything larger than 15 connecting covers. I think that's the highest I've heard. Correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody knows.
I was just copying the original. Like there was originally 15 connecting covers in the Marvel Universe Handbook in the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay. Yeah, I didn't
so
remember.
so they just asked me to recreate, I was asked to recreate the Marvel Universe Handbook covers.
Oh, yeah, okay, in your style.
That's cool.
But that is still cool.
So at the very least, if 15 is the record, I've tied it.
Yeah, and man, they should like make a print of that or something, and because I think that would be like incredible.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
That would be cool. It'd be like 30 feet long.
Yeah.
Because it's front and back covers for 15.
Oh wow!
comics.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the logistics of that.
Yeah.
Graphic design.
Totally.
There's only 8 there still, but
Yeah, you can't. You're not gonna be able to see them.
Well-
because it's on the back and the front.
oh, it's back and front.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these are all bagged and boarded. I mean, do you want me to take them out and line them up?
Oh
I don't
my
want you to go
god!
through all that trouble. It would be cool to see though. But is there a place where somebody can go and take a look at all this, connected and stuff?
I think if you just Google search it, you can find stuff.
I figured so.
If you go to my Instagram, there's at least one video where it scrolls through all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, you don't have to dig that deep into my Instagram page to find that stuff. Yeah, they're all there.
All right.
So yeah, check me out on Instagram.
Okay, there you go, guys. There was one other cool thing I saw off your Facebook page is the massive toys that you have and that we see right now, and then you covers for them. You have some. Holy moly! There's even more there.
Let me turn the light on here.
Let there be light. Oh yeah, there's that wall. Okay. It's multiple.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I tell people like, yeah, you wouldn't believe the toys I have here in the office, and everyone's like, yeah, everybody says that. But
That
we
is
got-
insane.
yeah, we've got 5 guys here.
You know what this is, Mel?
Yeah.
You don't need a wife. If you don't have a wife, you can do all this. Your fantasy will come true.
Okay.
This is
Well-
so much better than having a spouse breathing down your neck every day. This is like your dream come true
That's heaven.
every day.
The key is to have a studio separate from where you live.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'll
is
work
true.
there.
That's
It's
so
just
Shell,
do you-
shelves and
Okay.
rows of figures. Okay, show us
I have to
like
ask.
what you do with the blank sketch covers and the figures
Yeah, I want to know
that has
why,
your art on it.
why you do that. And that's like OCD level. I don't know. How do you even dust all of that? That takes so long to dust.
Dust? What's that word? What are you saying?
Spoken like a wife.
I mean, you need to dust that, right?
Yeah, every 10 years.
It's true.
Define need.
Oh my god.
Wow.
All right.
All right, if anybody has more than that, let's hear it in the comments.
You should.
For
I
toys
feel
and
like
stuff.
That
you
is
should be
insane.
open for the public. You should be open to the public
It's a museum.
and museum walkthrough. I mean, oh, by the way, hey, North Carolina, that's where you live, right, Chris?
Yes, North Carolina.
Are you okay
Nice.
with the storms? I think there's like a storm, bad weather going on there.
Well, I'm inland a bit, maybe like 5 hours from where the beach is, so they get it on the coast. But
Oh, here,
I'm
take
in
a look at
Greensboro.
Look
Greensboro gets a lot of rain, but that's about it.
Why do you do that? Why do you did you custom make that cover? plastic
That's
cover?
awesome.
Isn't that cool?
It's the most freaking best thing I've ever seen in my life. Okay, I'll give you that. But I want to know the why and the how.
She doesn't get it.
I want to know the how and the why.
The why is your reaction right now. Like,
Yeah.
I just thought it was going to be cool, and then other people thought it was cool. So I'm like, okay, let's do this. I mean, I don't think it's a big secret that I like action figures.
No.
So I just thought, and I had a bunch of sketch covers, and I was like, hey, what? That'd be cool if you could combine this and make it like an action like a carded action figure, but something that you could actually open. Like the box opens up, so you can take it out and you can put it back in. So, and it displays nice. You can just put it on a shelf like that.
That is really cool. Do you sell those at the shows? Because I don't remember seeing those on your table.
Yeah, I had them at the table. Like I've done it at 3 conventions this year, so it's my first year doing it. So yeah, I started at Heroes Con. Okay. I sold 5 of them on day 1, and I was sold out. Like I wasn't expecting them to do that well. So then I regrouped. I made a bunch more, brought them to Nebraska, sold some more in Connecticut at Terrificon.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So we missed each other twice. I was at both of those shows.
Oh.
All right. Well, glad we're seeing each other now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We were at Heroes and we didn't see you there. And
yeah, I think I stopped by one. We didn't see each other. No, we saw each other once. No, I saw you guys.
The past Heroes, we were so busy.
Yeah.
So we didn't get a chance to go around to say hi to everybody. And
yeah, I think most of us, it's just you get to your table and then you're just stuck there for 3 days, and then you go home.
I got to walk along in a lot of Heroes. Part of me wishes I didn't, but the crowds, like where I was at least, wasn't great.
We were active with several things that were going on with Heroes, not just Artist Alley, and that's what kept us busy. So I ended up like handling like other things other than what I normally do. So Heroes is just a different animal of a con compared to the rest of the shows that we do, and that's what prevented us from like going around. It is the most active participating con that we participate in outside of Artist Alley. But yeah, that's incredible, Chris. And I wonder if that's going to like catch on with like other people. Now, you're using a top loader to put the comic in, but how about the?
Yeah, how do you make that thing? I mean, you don't have to tell us, but do you custom make it or do you order it?
Oh yeah, it's top loaders, and so I order a bunch of top loaders for the comics, and then the boxes. I just looked up like action figure storage.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, you can get those plastic boxes that fold up. You can get those in a couple different sizes, or more than a couple.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just use some double-sided clear tape to just stick them together, and it sticks on there pretty good. Like I screwed up a couple of them, and it was really difficult to get them off. So once it's on pretty good.
Yeah. Now, I'm just kind of curious because I use double stick tape too. What kind of double stick tape do you use? Do you use a specific brand for that?
Let me see what I have here.
Because the reason why I'm asking is if you use like Scotch double stick tape, what I actually use them for is for the comic books when I seal them up in the bags and boards. And I've been using double stick tape since the 70s for my comics. And they used to have the double stick tape then, all of it. Well, it wasn't really that sticky. So you could like lift, close it up really all the time. And they would like last a long time. But I think it was like about like maybe 2 decades ago, they changed the formula to that stickiness on the Scotch tape. So now when you put it on the comic bags, it kind of sticks too well and rips. You end up ripping ripping and stretching the plastic. So that's what you use?
I can't read it.
Yeah.
I can't read it.
I see.
It's just heavy duty double-sided
Yeah,
tape.
that's heavy duty double stick tape. Yeah, I see what that is. And you ordered it by the rolls. Okay.
But yeah, it's like, I think this is 2 inches thick. So it's just one strip of this, cut it to the length of the box and then attach it.
That's kind of like a construction double stick tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, so it's got, because it's double sided, like that's not the color of it. It's actually clear.
Right.
But
They have a strip in here to separate the tape. Yeah.
Yeah, but does the job.
Mm-hmm. And so if anybody was interested, Chris, do you have a set price on those, or does it depend? In case if anybody's interested.
So far, I've been selling for $100 a piece.
Well, not bad. If you guys are interested, hit Chris up at, send him a DM and get some of those figures out of his place there.
So he can get more, buy more.
Yeah.
Wow. Very, very cool. Do you have a favorite?
Like a favorite action figure, or?
Yeah, or a favorite piece that you did.
Not yet. I mean, I've only been doing it. It feels like I've only been doing it for like 5 minutes. So,
Okay. About how many of those do you have now, though?
I think I have like 6 left.
Oh, okay. So yeah, not that much at all.
So yeah, I have to make more to really fill it up. I only got one more big convention this year. So.
Okay. Which one is that?
Baltimore.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll see you there.
I'm hoping to go.
Baltimore.
I never got heard back from them.
I might have a good reason to be at Baltimore.
Interesting. I got to talk to Kyle about that tomorrow, but yeah, we'll be there.
All right,
Baltimore,
cool.
Baltimore
Get to see you then.
Where there a certain little award ceremony is going to happen.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Right. They started
my ham-fisted way of shoving that back out there.
Nice.
Okay.
Are you nominated?
The book that I did called The Homestead with Dirk Manning, we're in the finals for best graphic novel.
Awesome.
Guys, congratulations on that, Les.
Your co-conspirator on Homestead, Les, is trying to strong arm me into getting you a place to stay.
Yep.
Oh, good. Because I'd love to be there. That would be awesome.
I know this is like an off question, but Chris, last time we were talking about eating and like your eating schedule. And I'm trying to incorporate some of that. So like you said, 3 cloves of garlic every day. So I bought a bulb of garlic today, and I was, what do you call them? Handling them, keep peeling those damn skins. And I'm thinking, how the heck does this guy do it? Do you have a trick on peeling garlic, or what do you do?
I just kind of squeeze it real hard with my fingers to loosen the skins off of it and peel it off. It's tedious.
It is.
I'm sure this is why everyone tuned in.
You'll be surprised the kind of questions that come up here, Chris. All from Mog.
Do you just peel it like 3 a day, or do you just peel the whole thing so you don't have to think about it?
I do 3 a day because I don't want them to like sit out and dry up.
Oh, that's
true.
Okay.
I just as I use it. I guess you know what? I guess the more you do something, the better you get at it, and I think my garlic peeling skills have really improved over the last year. That my doctor told me to eat 3 cloves of garlic a day. For anybody wondering why we're talking about this, it's my doctor said it would help with cholesterol.
It does. It does. I don't expressly eat 3 cloves of garlic a day, but my wife is Filipino, so it's pretty much in everything I eat.
That's what I told Mog, because I'm Filipino too, and I said,
"Oh, you're Filipino.
I don't have to worry about eating a lot of garlic because I do add garlic to pretty much everything, and I use a lot."
Oh man, so you familiar with Dineguan then?
Of course.
I love that stuff.
Me too.
I don't eat it as often because that is not healthy.
You know, Mel is a traitor to Philippines because he doesn't like dinuguan.
Ah,
It's not that I don't like it. Okay. It's not one of the more preferred Filipino foods that I like, you know.
whenever Mama Connie knows I'm coming over, she makes dinuguan for me.
All right. But how are you with balut?
Ew.
I have not gotten to have balut yet, but I want to.
Okay. I'm going to have to work on that then.
I am down to try
if you come to Baltimore, I'm going to have to try and dig some up.
That's disgusting.
We're gonna have to eat. We're gonna have a fear factor balut contest. I'm gonna have to pull Kyle in there too.
Mel, if I'm booking this Airbnb and I'm paying a security deposit, we're going to keep the food kind of normal, okay? I'm not losing a security deposit.
You got to do it for the EXP, Kyle.
Yeah, no. I like my security deposit more than I like my content.
All right. He's got me on that, but we can still do it. I've actually other people.
We can still make a big batch of Senegal.
Or I could just bring like I don't know half a dozen or a dozen
balut
to a show, and just do a contest like live right on Artist Alley floor, and video recorded it and post it up.
Balut, is that the eggs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the most disgusting possible version of them.
Yeah, it's not really disgusting once you have them though.
It's the what do you call the fetus?
It's the fermented duck fetus.
Yep.
So when you open it up, you see the chick is pretty much formed. You see the feathers, the beak, and everything.
Yeah, so it makes children cry when they see it, right?
Yeah.
Which makes
it
awesome.
What does it taste like? What does it taste like? Chicken.
Little tiny fermented chicken.
Oh my God, I eat something that tastes like that. It's called chicken. I just keep eating chicken.
It tastes like chicken.
But you know that's cruel. If you think about it, it's cruel, right?
All right, okay. You guys say that it's cruel, and yet how many regular chicken eggs do you guys eat?
But chicken eggs, those are.
Dude, I raise chickens, man. We have so many eggs. It's crazy.
They produce.
So yeah, I'm down with the balut.
Okay. All right. We got $100 on Eva.
Nice.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Good. That guarantees I'm actually going to finish it.
There you go.
So as a writer, for question to Vaughn or Les, I guess, both of you guys, as you write, do you get stuck a lot on moving the plots? Because you have to kind of come up with ways on what's the most interesting next thing to move the story along. And when you do, how do you overcome that?
You want to take this one, dude?
Yeah, I was. Thank you. I was actually doing a bit of writing today for revising on two things. I think often it was actually fairly easy at the writing sessions I had, but it was kind of ultimately like, because I'm about to revise issue 4, what you want to do is, for me, don't lose sight of, okay, what is the point of what I'm trying to say here? Like, how are we're getting A to B. What are we trying to do here? And so to me, in the beginning, I think it's something I've gotten much better at as I've gone, for sure. To me, it's just trying to find that focus. And to me, the tough part goes when I'm thrown off balance and I'm like, how did I get here? And I have to like step back and go, okay. But then the tough part is if you're in a bad starting point. So I would say to me, when it comes to trying to progress, it's understanding where you're going, like why you're going there. So I guess self-reflection to me is a lot of it. But often if you once you kind of have it, there's like a moment where like you snap your fingers and it just makes sense. And often writing is a lot of that is with the actual writing. And then a big chunk of it is the moments in between the snaps, which could sometimes take a long period of time. I don't know, Les, how you feel about it, but to me, that's kind of what it's like.
I was gonna say, man, just use lots of drugs and alcohol, you'll be fine. No, I'm actually a really pretty straight edge guy for the most part. So that was just a joke because I do enjoy that humor. But for me personally, I don't usually. I've never had an issue with the plot, but when I write, I'm not. I'll put it like this. I don't think of the plot first, like ever. What hits me first every time is a character.
Oh, me too.
Whose mind I can get into and who I would want to act out, and I will allow myself to sort of mentally role play the character, and then mentally role play the other characters they interact with, and then I find that God, this takes a lot of the magic out of it in a way, but that almost becomes a little bit mathematical because you can go, oh, well, this person thinks this way, and this is how they would respond to this. Well, that person did this because of this. And a lot of it just becomes a series of question and answer. And you make I personally will make the notes about that. And then I'll sit back and look at it and go, oh, that's where the plot is. There's the plots right there.
Right. I think I'm a character first guy for sure. I think that's why issue 3 was it was a bunch of different characters, but I had to find my anchor characters and my anchor.
Now that's a thing you're doing that I haven't really tried to do yet. I've never written a book where I have like an ensemble cast. Mm-hmm. I'm almost always focused on a single character.
Well, I always knew Phenomenal was always a team book. And that's why issue 3 is my most exciting one yet. It's because I'm like, finally the team. But I was like, let me get one character right, get them right again, push them along to where they need to go before I get into the team. So
I absolutely respect anybody who can write team stuff because that's
yeah.
You have to. That's what I was saying earlier. Because it's sometimes it's just hard to find that balance to give each character their equal amount of time. So
they're not going to get equal amount of time.
A character that's out there for like nothing. But question: is it more common to come up with the characters first before you start developing the world they're in, or
always? For me, always. I'm a character guy.
In your research and stuff, do you find like a lot of are there a lot of guys that do the world building first before the characters?
Yeah,
I know a lot of people who do, but
I will never get it. But I know people that do it. I'm always my ideas will almost always start with a character. Or if I come up with an idea, I'd go, all right, where are the characters? Okay, back to the idea. So like characters to me are a priority, even if the initial idea is like a weapon that I think is cool. Well, who would wield the weapon? It always somehow goes to character before I can progress.
Yeah, I in my thinking, it's all about asking questions.
Yes, interrogate myself, interrogate my characters until it makes sense. Then the story can start to progress. I'm okay with personally having certain world details not figured out yet, as long as the characters make sense.
And I'll tell you, one of the greatest exercises I think for writing has been one of my lifelong hobbies is DMing. Like I run Dungeons and Dragons games for a group of kids, and I love running other role playing games. I rarely ever play a character, but I love running games and having to like play all the NPCs in a game and be the world to players. What those players do will always throw you for a loop, and it's going to exercise that part of your brain that can do that kind of interrogating you were talking about.
Yeah, see, I haven't done that yet, but I know I should. But yeah, no, that'll happen. Like when I'm on a live show, if I can't answer questions, like I'd have people, friends at college, you do a workshop and be like, "What's your character's motivation?" And that would force me to be a better writer because I would have to answer questions. And why I'm good about being on live streams now is because I can actually answer questions. Now, the tough part is when I have an answer, and it seems like I don't know, but I'm like, I cannot tell you. But in my head, I answered it. But like, so luckily, I haven't hit that part yet. This stream, which is good. That's also why it's frustrating because I have a decent amount of pages. Like my coolest pages show. I'm like, because I immediately start answering some questions built up from the first 2 issues. I'm like, that's a spoiler. That's so cool. Spoiler. Can't show it in the campaign. That's frustrating.
Yeah. I don't like giving away spoilers either. So,
especially because there's a mystery component to the story.
That's things that got to be worked out. Okay. All right. So we're 832. We got $100 on Lester's Eva. We got $100 on the Spider Friends, and we're still looking 150 on Mog's Samurai piece here. Let's go around the room and just take a quick look at these while we still have time. So, well, you see Les is right there. He's inking that up. Okay. And there you go. That's looking really sweet.
Thank you.
There you go. Getting the trees in there.
Inking trees is like one of the most hilarious jobs.
That's Eve, right?
Eva.
That's Eva. Yeah, it's Eva.
Yeah. The main
My girl.
That's his girl.
How old is she?
That's great.
How old is she currently?
How old is she? Well, it's an interesting. How old is the character, or how old is she as far as when I created it?
I guess both.
So technically, in the book, she's maybe a couple of months old. She's pretty much newly formed because she's a created being. She's a construct. So she is number 2 of creatures created by Frankenstein. So that's part of her problem is like she has a body that is essentially mature in its own weird sort of way. 'Cause I put a lot of thought into the stuff about, it being a homunculus put together from different bodies. And then there's a big question that lingers through things that will be addressed in upcoming books about whose mind is it in that body. And she's a mess. She's, in a way, Eva is kind of an avatar for how I think of a number of female friends that I've had throughout my life who were just all a hot mess. Okay. So Eva is kind of, I like in some of the promos for it, we called her a patchwork woman. And she's, as a character, she's very much a patchwork of a lot of different women I've known and been good friends with, not romantic, friends. And because I'm a big guy, I can be a little intimidating. And out of that, I've always had this kind of thing where I end up befriending chicks who kind of need
protection.
Yeah. I was like a bouncer for a stripper once. Okay. So, Eva is kind of the bucket into which I have poured all of the crazy chick stories that I know in some weird way, and then swirl them around and spit them out into this character who I just feel this empathy for, because you know, she's this amalgam of messed up stuff, and is barely old enough to even have a clue what she is. Has all these urges, and she's just tragic. She's a really tragic character, and it doesn't get better for her. It's just awful. If a writer is the god of the world they write, I'm a terrible, terrible god.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you want your main characters to strangle you. You know, if they were ever to enter the real world, right? Like, oh, you're horrible. Why would you do this to me?
Because it's interesting.
I was trying to make a good story, man. You know, that's what I'd say.
That's actually, that's actually one of the thought processes that I have that's allowed me to deal with the whole stroke thing. Is like, well, this sucks, but it makes for a hell of a story. So here we go. Got to put some lines in here.
All right, so we got that, and then now here's Mog's mashup of Kenshin and Samurai, but that's not really a mashup because Kenshin is already a samurai. So let's just say this is a
piece of metal
Rurouni Kenshin type Supergirl.
Rurouni Kenshin
which is kind of.
Isn't there? I'm thinking that I watched a live action Rurouni Kenshin.
There is.
Yeah.
There is. And they made at least four, if not 5 movies of Rurouni Kenshin that are sequential.
I saw one of those and it was really damn good.
Yeah, they are good. They are worth watching. It has a very good story. Even if you watch the anime, it's really, really done well.
Are the live action movies, are they faithful to the source material?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
They are. But I like watching both.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. There you go. All right, so we got that. Samurai Supergirl, looking for the opening bid of 150. We got 100 on Les's bride Eva, and we got 100 on Super Friends, which Chris is starting to ink out on there as well. Okay. All right, so let me get back to my notes here. We got a little off track. All right. Okay. So, Vaughn, you're going now at a good pace. Where do you go from here?
Well, it could always be more, you know.
Of course.
So my campaign honestly is slowed down. Well, I'm gonna go to issue 4 and then 5 and then 6, but I have other projects in mind. Like it's funny you were mentioning you're mentioning the crazy woman stuff. Well, the script I was writing earlier today is this book called I Can Fix Her. That's one of my
God.
So
I have to have that just for the title.
I know that's why I'm like, is it gonna? I don't want to balance it. I'm like, people like it from the title alone. It's gonna sell. So it's about a demon hunter who has an ex-girlfriend who's half demon, but she's not like other demons. She's different, is what.
God.
Sure. Yeah.
Dude, I think I was married to that.
Dude, that's a common response. I was married to that. They all say that. Yeah, no. Well,
I'm not like her. I'm different.
So it was the most. I'm writing it with my friend who's a stand-up comedian. It's been a lot of fun. We just finished another draft. We might be ready to go soon. So I'm hoping to launch that. Hopefully in between Phenom Nova issues 3 and 4. But I have my short story collection. My goal is to keep the ball rolling, keep putting content out. But that horror stuff is this is a different, it's a horror story in a sense. I mean, it's an action comedy, but it's a horror story in the sense that we've all been there.
Haven't we though?
Yeah, so I think that'll sell. But yeah, Phenomenova. I'd love to do an anthology book at some point, but in the meantime, we'll see. But in the meantime, my main goal is just to keep Phenomenova. My one friend is pitching something in my universe, so that might happen. It's like a fantasy style superhero story, so that might happen too. Because my world set after World War III, and he was like, "What if we do a superhero from like a country that was really on the wrong side and was ravaged by it?" And I was like, "Pitch me your idea." He pitched it, and I liked it. So I'm like, "All right, man, I can't give you money, but if you want to," so he's going to do his own campaign. So that's going to be fun. So my world, I'm hoping to do more and more and more with.
That's
but
cool,
starting
man.
off by Phenomenova issue 4, I have the first 8 issues written and many plans for down the road. Like I love Claremont's stuff. I want to try and do that to the best of my ability, like a long-running superhero story.
That's actually one of the things that I was going to mention about Brides that a lot of folks, because I didn't beat people over the head with, a lot of folks don't realize. So there's Brides, and then there's this whole, like, I'm sitting on 30 years worth of stories I've written that are all Lovecraft related.
Ooh, I just got into his stuff recently. I've read, like, I went from not a fan of that to I've read now 50 of his stories. I have the bigger one.
Dude, I am a Lovecraft nut since my
Dude,
childhood.
Nice. I just got into his stuff recently. I'm a recent convert.
Dirk can tell you, I probably could teach like a master's level class on Lovecraft at this point. I made a living off doing Lovecraft related art for like almost 15 years.
Wow, really?
Yeah, Lovecraft. Lovecraft is that's chocolate and my peanut butter right there. That's home. Lovecraft is
chocolate and peanut butter. That's another thing. That's my favorite candy. Man, we're gonna get along, Les.
Dude.
Yeah, that's my favorite too. But I got to cut back to just the peanut butter. What do you call them? Another butter peanut butter cookie.
Nutter butters.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, if you're into Reese's and you're trying to eat healthier, look up Quest bars.
Quest bars?
I've had them.
Quest bars.
I've seen them.
I actually like them better than Reese's, and
Blasphemy.
the macros on them, are beautiful. It's like 16 grams of protein in one of these things, and the carbs are not bad. They're super great.
Take a look at that. Then.
I'm the guy who had the stroke, so I'm not that healthy, I guess, but I'm actually very much a health nut. So
yeah, I get you on that. So yeah, definitely want to look that up. Before I forget, next week, Ray, we have Ray Height, who's going to be coming in here. He's a local artist here in LA, and we're going to introduce you to him. And then we're also bringing back Caleb Addy, the guy that won the Spawnuary Villain Contest. He's coming back. And he's bringing with him his brother, Jacob, and his girlfriend, Brenna, who are also artists. And we're going to be taking a look at his book that he's working on, A Man of Many Shadows. Very, very interesting book. We gave one of those books away last week. And I'm actually excited about this project. So hopefully you guys tune in and learn more about that and see what kind of art they're putting out for this book. Caleb doing a tour for that. So
I just finished drawing a Seinen manga book called Angel Hunter, and Caleb did for us on that. Yeah, that's right. Okay, cool, interesting. It's amazing how this world is just pretty small. We just bump into people. How we're all connected that way. So that's going to be really cool. Okay, so we got 8:45 on the clock right now. That's about like 10 minutes left. So if you want to place those bids, you can go ahead and do so. We got $100 on The Bride, $100 on Super Friends, and looking for the opening bid of $150 on Mugs. Kenshin Supergirl. Yeah, that's what I'm calling it. Kenshin Supergirl. All right. And now back to our regular programming here. We have my next question is where is it? Here we go. Okay, yeah. Vaughn, how many cons or what cons do you have left for this year?
I'm going to be going to Granite State next month. There's this little one-day show called SciCon in New York I'm going to be going to. I'm definitely going to be going to New York Comic-Con, even if I don't have a table, which I probably won't. I'll be going to a few different shows. What else? Some are probably going to slip my mind and then I'll remember conveniently. I'm still looking for more shows. I'm going to be at one called Pucci Con or something like that. It's going to be in New Jersey. Like it's an anime show. And for some reason, I do love
something with a name like that's in New Jersey. Shit. Oh God.
It's an anime name. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what we know it by. Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. If this was if they had chosen that
Jersey
name like in an earlier decade, I don't think it would have gone. But today, so many things are just gone by. So I guess it's cool. And Chris, what about you? What cons do you have left?
Well, there's Baltimore, and there's a Greensboro Comic-Con in September, which is local for me.
That's right.
What else do I have? I think I'm forgetting something. I'm going to a toy show this Saturday here, local. See if I can put my combo packs out there.
Do you
do a lot of shows?
I haven't for a long time, and this year I've done several.
Oh, okay. What about you, Vaughn? Do you do a lot of shows as well?
Yeah, I try and do as many as I can. I'm hoping to do even more next year. That's
how much have you done this year?
Lost count, so a lot, but a lot of small ones around New Jersey. Any small one I can get in, any show I can get in, it's big or small. I've done all the Garden State Comic Fests. I'm gonna. Oh, that's another one. Vineland Comic-Con in New Jersey. I'm gonna be doing that one. Garden State Vineland.
Are you in Jersey?
Yeah, I am in Jersey.
Oh shit, man! I when I started my career, I actually lived in New Milford, Connecticut, and worked construction in the tri-state area there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time. I also spent a lot of time up in Red Bank and.
Red Bank is my stomping ground. I'm right by Red Bank. It's my comic shop is in Red Bank.
Dude, a bass player who used to do music with me a long time ago used to work at Kevin Smith's store there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Small world.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go there tomorrow and pick up some books because I missed my chance to get them. Yesterday.
Yeah, for Mark and I, we got LA Comic Con in next month.
Oh, I applied for that and they never got back to me. I applied to so many shows.
People, I think they're still going to approve some tables because I hear a lot of people that are normally in have not gotten the confirmation yet. So I think there's going to be like another wave. I'm not really sure what's holding them back, but yeah. So we got that next month, and then New York and Baltimore in October, which is kind of cool because they're consecutive cons. We'll fly out to New York and then go hang out in Baltimore before we head back. So we're looking for that fun trip.
I'd love to go to Baltimore.
And then we have Fan Expo San Francisco in November, and that will end it for us unless something else comes up. Normally doesn't, but sometimes it does. So we'll see. And then we get ready for the whole new year already. I just filled in the application for Emerald City, so we're already starting to work for the year. We're already confirmed for one show in 26. So now we'll see how all that shapes up to be. It's kind of like chaotic too, like next year, because there's a lot of shows that are on the same weekend. So it's going to might be a little tough to choose on where to go. So and as an artist, you can't really split yourself up. They just don't allow it at the show. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what happens there. But anyway, so that's where we stand. We got 5 minutes left on the clock. If you guys want to place a bid on any of the artwork.
If anyone is watching who's in or goes to Knoxville, I will be at Nirvana Comics doing an in-store next weekend next Saturday at Nirvana Comics in Knoxville.
Has anybody done Memphis Con?
I haven't.
No, I need to get. That's the thing. I need to travel more, but I need to because I know I'm trying to find a way to how do you make it economic to travel? When I
find people to crash with.
Yeah,
but also shipping books I know is expensive.
It might take time, okay, but as you do the shows and you make friends and you find out who you're kind of compatible with, and then so like when you do this, hey, you're going to this show, you want to book a place together, that kind of thing. So you kind of consolidate your expenses there. You take advantage of the points that you can get, to buy airplane tickets or hotels or things like that. And you see what other angles you can make. But that's pretty much it. And then of course you try to perfect your craft at selling. So this way you won't have to have that much of an issue of trying to make your money back. Right, and I think that's one of the biggest things that creators can do. I don't think it's if you're just sitting at your table and you're not talking, then I don't think you're.
Oh, I talk all the time. No, all right. So this is all stuff. So I'm doing things right. My whole thing was just from a business standpoint, because obviously crashing with people. That's what I'm looking. I'm like, do I know anyone in this area? All right, hey, buddy. That's what I'm trying to do for next year. So I'm gonna make that a priority too.
Yeah, you were next to Henri at Heroes.
Oh yeah, Henri and I, we're already gonna be tabling at least one show together next year.
There you go. So,
I'll talk to him about it.
Henri is an interesting guy to watch on how he sells.
Oh, I'm similar to him. We both. Okay. I'm very.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember him saying that you guys are very similar. And he was telling me that because the way how your tables were placed at Heroes, it wasn't conflicting. So it was kind of good that it worked out.
No, it was nice. He would send people to my book table. Yeah, he's a great table. Not table make, but would that be no? Because we're not tabling together. It'd be whatever.
We're not tabling together, but your table. In a way we do call it table mates because you are next to each other. Neighbors. Yeah. So, we do.
If any of you guys are doing or would like to do the couple of shows that happen in Metropolis, Illinois, I highly recommend the Superman Celebration. That show is awesome. I mean, it's a little bit of everything, but I have a guest room and cots that fold out in my studio, so I'm always open. And
okay.
I got a big farm. I got a big farm here that I live on. And
I'm gonna message you then. Because I'm trying to hit as many shows as I can. So I'll definitely take you on.
I'm interested, but I'm more interested in the farm.
Oh, you'd love it, dude.
I'm interested in that too. I just wasn't gonna say it.
I maintain 10 acres that's adjoined to another, I think, 105.
Damn it.
It's awesome. I love it here. And
totally.
Oh my God. Deer season's coming, folks. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Do you hunt anything else besides deer?
Sometimes turkeys.
Okay. Do you get elk up there?
No.
No, we don't roam this far south.
Oh man. Okay.
There is a chance to get wild boar.
Oh baby.
Yeah.
For the Filipinos, that's what we're gonna love, right?
Yeah. Y'all are the most pig-eating people I've ever seen. I thought we ate a lot of pig in Appalachia, and I'm like, damn, man, Filipinos put that pig away.
But what we like is how we cook it.
Oh, dude, lechon is the shit.
Everybody tells you, everybody tells you your Filipino pork can't be that good. And then once they have it, it's oh my god, that's the
I'm like,
best
no, man,
thing I've
you
ever heard.
don't understand. I'm like, these fucking Little Island people know how to take a pig and make that thing shine.
Oh yeah, that boy shines.
Literally, it literally shines.
Oh,
All right. Anyway, guys,
well,
I want to thank you all
making me hungry.
for joining us tonight. It was a wonderful evening. Vaughn, wonderful having you on here. Congratulations on the success of your third campaign. We wish you further success on your
Thank you.
Congratulations, man.
And is there a way anyone can send that in the chat? The link to my campaign.
We had already posted it in the chat. If you didn't see that,
it's already in the chat.
It is in the chat.
Posted in there. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Yep, it'll be in the description once the show ends.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I didn't know that.
Okay.
I just thank you so much.
Chris, thanks for joining us too as well.
Thank you for having me on.
All the information about the winner, and we will see you in Baltimore. Les, it's always fun having you.
I got her done, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll be hitting you up, man.
That looks great, dude. All of these look great. Thank you so much for having me, though. It's been great.
All right, guys.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks,
we'll
guys.
see you guys next week. Goodbye.